I can't believe I finally had the courage to write what I did." With that single chilling line, Christine Brown has sent the entire Sister Wives universe into a frenzy. For nearly 2 decades, she kept the darkest secrets of the Brown family hidden, but now Christine is ready to spill it all in her upcoming memoir. And if you thought the drama ended when 3 wives walked away from Kody, think again. Because what Christine is about to reveal could obliterate the last marriage Kody has left. Sources are already whispering that Christine is going scorched earth, and that Robyn Brown's so-called fairy tale marriage may not survive the fallout. Christine was there from the beginning. She saw Robyn enter as wife number 4 and watched in real time as the family shifted overnight. She witnessed the favoritism, the sudden flow of money and attention toward Robyn, and the slow dismantling of a family that once called itself united. For years, Christine played nice, stayed quiet, and protected the family image. But not anymore. This book isn't just a memoir, it's a bombshell, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. Christine's memoir, Sister Wife, is dropping this September, just as Kody embarrasses himself on Special Forces Season 4. Talk about a 1-2 punch that could leave the Brown family empire in complete ruins. And if insiders are right, Christine's revelations could flip Robyn's carefully crafted image upside down. For years, Robyn has painted herself as the innocent newcomer, the spiritual wife who understood Kody better than the others. But what if that was all smoke and mirrors? What if Christine exposes Robyn as the mastermind behind years of manipulation, favoritism, and financial control? Christine has already teased what's coming. Remember that audiobook snippet where she threw shade at Kody rushing home to Robyn during her labor? That was just the appetizer. Insiders say the full book is the main course, and it's devastating. She allegedly documents how Robyn positioned herself as a victim while slowly edging the other wives out. She claims Robyn's influence reached every corner of the family, emotional, financial, and even intimate. And after years of silence, Christine is finally ready to tell the world what really happened behind the cameras. And here's the kicker. Christine has nothing left to lose. She's free from Kody, happily remarried to David Woolley, and building a beautiful life in Utah. Meanwhile, Robyn is clinging to a marriage that, if these allegations are true, is about to collapse like a house of cards. So buckle up, because Christine's courage to finally speak out might just destroy Robyn and Kody's last marriage for good. Christine's memoir isn't just about her own escape. It's a behind-the-scenes expose of how Robyn allegedly rose to power within the Brown family. For years, Robyn painted herself as the innocent newcomer, just trying to fit in with an already established family. But Christine was there, watching closely. And according to insiders, Christine's book reveals that those moments of vulnerability, the tears, the breakdowns, the perfectly timed emotional outbursts, may not have been so innocent after all. What if every dramatic episode wasn't coincidence, but part of a calculated strategy? A strategy designed to position Robyn as the victim, while quietly dismantling the relationships Kody had with his other wives. Christine allegedly witnessed it all. Family meetings where Robyn would play the voice of reason, while subtly throwing the other wives under the bus. Conversations where her demands were framed as sacrifices. Manipulation disguised as spiritual guidance. And Kody? According to whispers, he fell for it every single time. Imagine reading Christine's account of Kody being played like a fiddle. Detailed scenes of Robyn stirring up conflict, then swooping in as the solution. Moments where she allegedly used her children as leverage, her first marriage as a sympathy card, and her spiritual language as justification for always getting her way. And the most chilling part? Insiders say Christine's book lays it all out in a timeline, from the small emotional tugs that seemed harmless to the bigger demands that ultimately made Robyn Kody's one and only long before the other wives left. If these accounts are true, Robyn's carefully constructed image as the misunderstood victim could be about to collapse completely. And when Kody realizes he may have been manipulated from day one, what happens to his marriage? How does his ego, so built on control and patriarchal pride, survive that kind of humiliation? But Christine doesn't stop there. Her memoir allegedly digs deep into the favoritism that poisoned the Brown family from the inside out. She wasn't just a bystander, she was a victim of it. Specific stories reportedly show how Robyn's children consistently received Kody's full attention, while the other wives' kids were left fighting for scraps of their father's time and resources. Birthdays, school events, milestones. Christine allegedly documents how they all seemed to orbit around Robyn's household, while her own children quietly learned what it felt like to be afterthoughts in their own family. This isn't just gossip. These are stories from someone who lived it. And now, for the first time, Christine is pulling back the curtain. When Robyn was cementing her position as the favorite wife, she allegedly saw how Robyn's children immediately became Kody's priority, while his biological children with the other wives started getting treated like distant relatives. She watched as family resources that should have been shared equally somehow kept flowing toward one particular household, while everyone else was told to tighten their belts and make sacrifices. But here's where the alleged favoritism gets really ugly. Rumors are circulating that Christine's book exposes how Robyn supposedly used her children's emotional needs as weapons against the other wives. Sources claim Christine details incidents where Robyn allegedly created situations that made it seem like her kids were being mistreated by the other wives, then positioned herself as the protective mother who needed Kody's intervention and support. And honey, if these allegations are true, it explains so much about how this family fell apart. Imagine being Christine, watching your husband lavish attention and resources on one wife's children while your own kids learn not to expect much from their father. Picture the frustration of seeing Robyn's household get new furniture, nanny services, and whatever else they needed while you are scrambling to pay for your daughter's life-saving surgery. The timing of this alleged favoritism is particularly brutal. Sources are hinting that Christine's book contains a detailed timeline showing how Robyn's preferential treatment escalated over the years, starting with small things like getting the biggest house in Las Vegas, then gradually building to bigger advantages like having her children's needs prioritized over everyone else's, until she had allegedly maneuvered herself into a position where her household was functioning like a separate nuclear family, while the other wives were treated like distant relatives. But what makes this potentially devastating for Robyn's marriage is that Christine allegedly does not just document what happened. She exposes how it happened. We could be looking at detailed accounts of the specific tactics Robyn supposedly used to convince Kody that her children's needs were more urgent, more important, and more deserving of his attention than his biological children with the other wives. Imagine Kody reading specific examples of how he was allegedly manipulated into treating some of his children like priorities, while others became afterthoughts. Picture him discovering that decisions he thought he was making as a father were actually being influenced by a wife who was working her own agenda while making it seem like she was just looking out for the family's best interests. And the most brutal part, if Christine's allegations are accurate, Robyn allegedly did all of this while positioning herself as the victim, claiming she was just trying to protect her children from a hostile family environment that she had supposedly created through her own manipulative behavior. But let's dive into what could be the most revealing section of Christine's book, and that is her alleged exposé of the sister-wife dynamics that viewers never fully understood. Because what happened between Christine and Robyn was not just a personality clash or a simple case of jealousy. Sources are whispering that Christine's book reveals it was a systematic campaign of alleged psychological warfare that made coexistence impossible. Remember all those awkward moments on camera where Christine seemed inexplicably hostile toward Robyn, and viewers could not quite figure out what was really going on? Well, allegedly, Christine's book is going to explain exactly what was happening behind the scenes that made those interactions so tense. We are talking about detailed accounts of how Robyn supposedly used subtle manipulation tactics to isolate Christine from the family, while making it look like Christine was the problem. Think about those infamous kitchen wars that the Brown family could never seem to resolve. Multiple wives trying to share one kitchen should have been manageable with good communication and mutual respect. But sources claim that Christine's book reveals how Robyn allegedly turned even the most mundane household tasks into power struggles, designed to establish dominance and push the other wives out of shared spaces. And honey, if these rumors are accurate, the kitchen conflicts were just the tip of the iceberg. Allegedly, Christine witnessed Robyn systematically working to undermine her relationships with not just Kody, but with the other wives as well. We could be looking at detailed accounts of how Robyn supposedly played the wives against each other, creating division and mistrust that made the plural marriage structure completely unsustainable. But here is where it gets really ugly. Insiders are whispering that Christine's book contains specific examples of how Robyn allegedly used information she gathered from one wife to manipulate situations with another. Picture Robyn learning about Christine's insecurities from casual conversation, then supposedly using that information to position herself as the more capable, more spiritual, more deserving wife during private moments with Kody. The alleged emotional manipulation tactics that Christine reportedly describes sound absolutely diabolical. Sources claim she details how Robyn would supposedly create problems, then swoop in to solve them while positioning herself as the peacemaker and the other wives as the troublemakers. We are talking about potential revelations of manufactured drama designed to make Robyn look good while making everyone else look petty and difficult. And the timing aspect makes this even more brutal for Robyn's current situation. Allegedly, Christine's book shows how these manipulation tactics escalated over time, starting with subtle undermining and gradually building to more overt campaigns designed to push the other wives out of the family entirely. If these allegations are accurate, Robyn's victory was not the result of being the better wife or the more spiritual woman. It was allegedly the result of a calculated campaign to destroy the other marriages while making it seem like the other wives were destroying themselves. But what makes this potentially catastrophic for Robyn's marriage is that Christine allegedly does not just document these tactics. She explains how they worked on Kody specifically. We could be looking at detailed psychological profiles of how Robyn supposedly identified Kody's weaknesses and exploited them to get what she wanted. Imagine Kody reading specific examples of how his emotions were allegedly manipulated, his decisions influenced, and his relationships with his other wives systematically destroyed by someone he trusted completely. That kind of revelation does not just embarrass a man, it destroys his sense of reality and his ability to trust his own judgment. Now here's where things get absolutely delicious. Because if the rumors about Christine's book are even halfway accurate, Robyn Brown is probably in full panic mode right about now. Think about it from her perspective. She spent years carefully crafting an image as the innocent victim, the spiritual wife, the woman who just wanted to fit into an established family, but kept getting treated unfairly by jealous sister wives. And now Christine is allegedly about to blow that entire narrative to smithereens with receipts, timestamps, and specific examples that will make it impossible for Robyn to maintain her victim status. Sources close to the situation are whispering that Robyn has been desperately trying to do damage control ever since Christine announced her book. Allegedly, she has been reaching out to family members, trying to get information about what Christine might have written, and preparing her own version of events in case she needs to go into crisis management mode. But here's the thing about trying to control a narrative when someone else holds all the cards. It is basically impossible, especially when that someone else apparently has 17 years worth of first-hand observations and allegedly zero interest in protecting your reputation. Think about what Robyn is facing here. For years, she has been able to control the storyline because she was still in the family, still married to Kody, still positioned as the loyal wife who stayed while everyone else abandoned ship. She could frame every situation as evidence of her dedication and everyone else's selfishness. But Christine's book allegedly flips that entire script and positions Robyn as the architect of everyone else's misery. And honey, the timing could not be worse for Robyn's damage control efforts. Christine's book is dropping right around the same time that Kody will be making an absolute fool of himself on Special Forces Season 4. So while he is off embarrassing himself with other reality stars and allegedly not playing well with others, Christine will be systematically destroying the foundation that their marriage was built on. Talk about a perfect storm of public humiliation and private devastation. But here's what makes Robyn's panic even more understandable. Allegedly, Christine's book does not just expose what happened in the past. It explains how those past actions led directly to the current situation. We could be looking at a detailed roadmap that shows how Robyn's alleged manipulation tactics destroyed the plural marriage structure and left her exactly where she supposedly wanted to be all along as Kody's only wife. The problem with that kind of victory is that it only works if nobody knows how you achieved it. Once the manipulation tactics are exposed, once the calculated moves are revealed, once the victim narrative crumbles, what is left? A marriage built on lies, manipulation, and the systematic destruction of other relationships. And that is not exactly the foundation for a happily ever after. Sources are hinting, I can't believe I finally had the courage to write what I did. With that one line, Christine Brown has set the entire Sister Wives world on fire. For nearly 2 decades, she stayed silent, swallowing pain and guarding family secrets. But now, Christine is ready to reveal everything, and the fallout could be nothing short of catastrophic for Kody and Robyn's marriage. Christine's upcoming memoir, Sister Wife, isn't just another reality TV tell-all. It's being described as a nuclear bomb aimed straight at the heart of the Brown family. And the whispers are already saying this book could destroy the last marriage Kody has left. Christine saw it all. Christine wasn't just another wife. She was the peacekeeper, the glue, the one who kept things functioning when cracks first started to form. She was there when Robyn entered the family as wife number 4. She saw how quickly everything shifted. Kody's time, money, and affection mysteriously flowing in just one direction. For years, Christine stayed quiet, protecting the family's image. But silence comes at a cost, and now she's finally ready to tell her side of the story. And the timing? Absolutely brutal. Christine's book is set to release in September, just as Kody makes a fool of himself on Special Forces Season 4. A 1-2 punch that could leave the so-called Brown family empire in total ruins. Robyn's image under fire. Robyn has always painted herself as the innocent outsider, the spiritual wife who simply wanted to fit in. But Christine's memoir allegedly shatters that image. What if those emotional breakdowns, those perfectly timed tears, weren't random at all, but calculated strategies to keep Kody focused on her? Christine reportedly exposes how Robyn positioned herself as the victim in family meetings while subtly undermining the other wives. She allegedly framed demands as sacrifices and used spiritual language to disguise manipulation. And Kody? He bought it every single time. Insiders claim Christine details exact moments where Robyn stirred up drama, then swooped in as the solution. She allegedly used her children as leverage, her first marriage as a sympathy card, and her faith as justification for always getting her way. Even more devastating, Christine supposedly provides a timeline showing how Robyn's influence grew from small requests into full-blown domination until she became Kody's one true wife, long before the others walked away. If this is true, Robyn's carefully crafted image as a victim is about to collapse completely. And when Kody realizes he may have been manipulated all along, what happens to his marriage? How does a man with his ego survive that kind of humiliation? The favoritism that broke the family. Christine doesn't just expose manipulation, she reportedly dives into the favoritism that tore the family apart. Her memoir allegedly reveals how Robyn's children received priority treatment, while the other wives' kids were left fighting for scraps of their father's time and attention. Birthdays, school events, even medical crises. Christine allegedly documents how Kody was always at Robyn's side, while her own children were left behind. Viewers saw glimpses of this on the show, but Christine, living it day to day, allegedly gives specific examples that make it undeniable. The money trail. And then there's the money, the most dangerous secret of all. Christine reportedly exposes the financial imbalance that viewers always suspected but never saw. During the years Christine struggled to pay for her daughter's scoliosis surgery, during Truly's terrifying kidney crisis, during Janelle's constant financial battles, Kody was allegedly pouring resources into Robyn's household. New houses, new furniture, nanny services, endless upgrades. Meanwhile, Christine and the other wives were left scrambling. Insiders say Christine's memoir doesn't just expose inequality, it details how the decisions were made. Was Kody really in control? Or was Robyn allegedly pulling the strings, convincing him to prioritize her household while everyone else suffered? If Christine really has receipts, this could be devastating. We're talking about revelations that destroy reputations, destroy trust, and destroy marriages. Intimacy bombshells. And Christine doesn't stop at finances. Allegedly, her book dives into the family's most sacred taboo, the bedroom. For years, Christine endured being ignored while Kody rushed home to Robyn. The supposed rotation schedule? According to whispers, Christine exposes how that equal time was a complete sham. Insiders hint that Christine doesn't just call out favoritism. She exposes the tactics Robyn allegedly used to keep Kody coming back night after night. Emotional manipulation, convenient emergencies, strategic vulnerability. And the most humiliating part for Kody? Rumors say Christine goes scorched earth on his performance, delivering an assessment that could shatter his pride forever. Why this is the end game. For 17 years, Christine stayed quiet. She endured. She played her role. But now she's free, living in Utah, happily married to David Woolley, building a new life. She has nothing left to lose. Robyn, on the other hand, is still desperately clinging to the marriage she fought so hard to secure. But if these revelations are true, that marriage could soon collapse under the weight of secrets, favoritism, and manipulation. Because here's the truth: marriages built on lies don't survive the truth. And Christine Brown may have just decided it's time to tell the truth, no matter who it destroys. Closing hook. When Sister Wife drops this September, the world won't just be reading Christine's story, they'll be watching the final cracks spread through Kody and Robyn's marriage. And once the truth is out, there's no going back. Christine's memoir isn't just about her own escape. It's a behind-the-scenes exposé of how Robyn allegedly rose to power within the Brown family. For years, Robyn painted herself as the innocent newcomer, just trying to fit in with an already established family. But Christine was there, watching closely. And according to insiders, Christine's book reveals that those moments of vulnerability, the tears, the breakdowns, the perfectly timed emotional outbursts, may not have been so innocent after all. What if every dramatic episode wasn't coincidence, but part of a calculated strategy? A strategy designed to position Robyn as the victim, while quietly dismantling the relationships Kody had with his other wives. Christine allegedly witnessed it all. Family meetings where Robyn would play the voice of reason, while subtly throwing the other wives under the bus. Conversations where her demands were framed as sacrifices. Manipulation disguised as spiritual guidance. And Kody? According to whispers, he fell for it every single time. Imagine reading Christine's account of Kody being played like a fiddle. Detailed scenes of Robyn stirring up conflict, then swooping in as the solution. Moments where she allegedly used her children as leverage, her first marriage as a sympathy card, and her spiritual language as justification for always getting her way. And the most chilling part? Insiders say Christine's book lays it all out in a timeline, from the small emotional tugs that seemed harmless to the bigger demands that ultimately made Robyn Kody's one and only long before the other wives left. If these accounts are true, Robyn's carefully constructed image as the misunderstood victim could be about to collapse completely. And when Kody realizes he may have been manipulated from day one, what happens to his marriage? How does his ego, so built on control and patriarchal pride, survive that kind of humiliation? But Christine doesn't stop there. Her memoir allegedly digs deep into the favoritism that poisoned the Brown family from the inside out. She wasn't just a bystander, she was a victim of it. Specific stories reportedly show how Robyn's children consistently received Kody's full attention, while the other wives' kids were left fighting for scraps of their father's time and resources. Birthdays, school events, milestones. Christine allegedly documents how they all seemed to orbit around Robyn's household, while her own children quietly learned what it felt like to be afterthoughts in their own family. This isn't just gossip. These are stories from someone who lived it. And now, for the first time, Christine is pulling back the curtain,